Let's take a look at adjustment layers. Now, the adjustment layer is very powerful if you want to apply a filter across multiple clips without having to put that filter on each and every clip. Now, the reason you don't want to do that is, what if you need to make a change or modify that filter? The producer says a little brighter, a little darker. You don't want to have to go back to each one and make that change. So what we're going to do is create an adjustment layer. You can do it many places within the interface. I'm going to go down to New Item and create Adjustment Layer. It perfectly matches the sequence settings. I'm going to press OK, and I see that it appears in my project pane. Now I'm going to grab the adjustment layer, and I'm going to drag it over here and put it onto V2, and I'm doing that for a specific reason. I only want the adjustment layer to modify the clips below it. In this case, the basic video, not the lower thirds. It's because I'm going to take and give this a look. I'm going to give this that back in the day sepia look that I really liked, and I don't want to take the risk of putting it on each individual clip. So think of an adjustment layer as a container that affects everything below it. If I jump to my Effects tab and switch over to Lumetri Looks, I can scroll down and choose that back in the day filter. By dropping it on the adjustment layer, all the clips below are now sepia. What I really like is the flexibility, because I can easily go in and turn this on and off to show the producer what it would look like with and without. I can also throw multiple looks or multiple filters, which I can toggle on and off on my adjustment layer to show a variety of looks for my program. Maybe I want one of the Dreams look. And let's choose one more just so we can toggle between them. Well, we might as well go back to the 70s, and I'll drop that on. Now, of course, I wouldn't want to look at all of these at the same time, but I can turn them on and off individually or combine them into small groups to show my producer a variety of different looks. So let me turn off back in the day, and as you can see, I now have that dream glow, or if I wanted to, I could even turn off that Dreams because it's a little soft for my taste, and now I get that 70s look feel. So in this case, I used the looks, but you can use any filter you want to modify all the clips below it. So just let me quickly turn that off and throw in a clip that you can modify, such as a Gaussian blur. And as you see, it applies the blur to the entire program. Now, I may not necessarily want to do this for my entire show, but let's say I want to run some credits over part of my show. This will allow me to blur a chunk without risking changing all the individual clips. I want to show you one last trick when it comes to adjustment layers, and that's the ability to change the size of all the clips below it. We're going to go back to the project file and grab the original adjustment layer, because you can use this over and over again because it's simply an empty container. And now I want to change the look of the show. Let me first go back and turn off the Gaussian blur. And now I want to change the size of my image. You don't use this using the motion parameter here. You'll always have to use filters. So I'm going to make sure that the top adjustment layer is set, and I'm going to jump to my Effects tab and scroll down, and one of the options under Effects is Perspective. And I'm going to grab Basic 3D, and I can use this filter to modify the size and the tilt of my image. So for instance, I can grab Distance and make it a little bit smaller, and I'm going to grab Swivel and kind of just tilt it a little bit. If I wanted to, I could turn on a specular highlight, and all that's going to do is, if there's a light source, it will catch that light source on the front of the image, giving it more of a 3D feel if I animate it. So if you want to change the size of an image, remember, if you can find a filter to do the job, you can get the job done. Adjustment layers are incredibly powerful. It just takes a little bit of practice and knowing how to use them to get the job done.